Alright, so in less than 12 hours time, we are going to be getting the rerun banner for Roka and also CN. And with that, as always, we're here to talk about the characters once more before you maybe decide to summon on this particular banner. Now, for most veterans out there that have been playing this game for quite some time, you would look at the banner and say that's a very easy skip, and you're not going to be wrong. For new players out there that maybe don't really know if this banner has some value to it, I would say right now that this is a banner you really shouldn't be summoning on. Even if you are a massive fan of both Roka and CN, I would highly advise against it. The main reason is that Roka and CN haven't really aged the best as time has gone by. They're still good characters, don't get me wrong, but the biggest reason to skip this banner is that it is a Spirits Are Forever With You banner with only 2 Spirits Are Forever With You characters. The other characters only being Calm Free World significantly lessen the value for this banner, and I wouldn't really put on a banner like this when future SAFWY characters are going to have more SAFWY characters. Maybe if they threw in the Kenpachi banner with Aaroniero, Kuriyashiki, and also Zaraki, it would have maybe been worthwhile. But a banner like this that realistically only has 2 good characters to go for, and even then there's better replacements, I would really advise against summoning on this banner, because keep in mind we are still quickly approaching the 8th anniversary. That will be happening July 23rd, and any orb you spend now is less orb spent on the anniversary. So it's going to take a really good banner to say it's worth summoning on when we're this close to the anniversary. But with that said, in case you are still tempted to summon on this banner, let's talk about the value of the characters that are featured in here, so you know what you're going to be getting if you do potentially pull one of these characters. For starters, the banner is available tomorrow until the 19th, so it's only here for like a week, and on the 13th we are going to be getting the mid-month banner announcement, and mid-month usually isn't anything super crazy, but in the potential chance that it might feature one of your favorite characters, I would recommend waiting until the 13th to see what that banner actually is before summoning on this one. Alongside that, because we did get 1000 Year Blood War Round 15 return last month, and now we have this banner, that therefore means 1000 Year Blood War Round 16 with Ichigo, Chad, and Uryu are set to return either early next month or potentially late this month. That banner in general has a way better heart and technique character, and I would also recommend summoning on that banner over this, despite us not even know what the fillers will be in the upcoming 1000 Year Blood War banner. But moving on, let's talk about the 2 main highlighted characters here, in this case, CN, a Heart Aranka with the Aranka kill ability. CN is a pretty interesting character in the way he was designed. In a way, he's designed to play with other CNs, and that's kind of cool because he's a clone. The more CNs you have in your lobby, the better, but unfortunately, you're very rarely going to get a lobby with 4 CNs. Despite him being a Super Linkster character, and therefore using him in inheritance trials, you are getting 5 additional Super Linkster potions, he does have the least amount of value when compared to someone like Nini and also Kaname, for example. And the main reason for that is because he's the only Super Linkster character in the game to not increase the amount of normal Linkster potions you do get. And unfortunately, that just makes it so I don't really ever use him, because the main reason why you are using these farming characters is to get those extra potions. And in his case, when he doesn't increase one type of potion, I'd rather just bring someone like Kaname and also Nini. But explaining why it's actually good with other CNs, the main reason is because this character wants to inflict status amounts. Every 5 seconds is a 12% chance per enemy to inflict burn and also lacerate, which remember he can do it every single attack. Alongside that, he does have an increased chance to inflict status amounts, and that's important because one, that gives over the Iron Skin ability in IT, for example, but most of his damage comes from inflicting status amounts, with Frenzy +1, a 40% Berserker, and 100% more damage to enemies afflicted by burn and also lacerate. He can do some pretty good damage, and that's why it's important if you are playing with CN, for example, you have other scenes in your lobby, because at that point you're all constantly inflicting status amounts, and you're all getting that extra 100% damage bonus to those that are afflicted by burn and also lacerate. Unfortunately though, like I mentioned, that's very rare to happen, and ultimately the main reason for that is because he doesn't increase the amount of normal Linkster potions you do get, so most people are more inclined to bring Kaname and also Nini, for example. But alongside that, CN's strong attack kit isn't really the greatest. It's not bad by any means, but ultimately it comes down to his SA1 being very similar to 7th Anniversary Ichigo. He has the same problem that that character has, a great character, more so 7th Anniversary Ichigo, but in terms of playability and having fun with the character, that SA1 really hinders the enjoyability, at least for me. I just don't like that SA1. But other than that, his SA2 and 3 are great, and this CN is far from bad. He's a good character, just unfortunately held by the fact that he is a farming character without decreasing the amount of normal Linkster potions you get. But if you are a Zapado fan and therefore like CN and you want to farm with CN, one of your favorite characters potentially, then by all means he's a good character to have for that particular aspect. But for me, when I'm farming, I'd rather use Nini and also Kaname, and coincidentally Nini is currently available right now, a Super Linkster character that does increase the amount of Linkster potion you get in a much better banner. banner. So if you're looking for a hot Super Link's character, I would more so recommend going on the Burn the Witch banner. After that though, we have Roka, a Technica Ranker with the Holo Kill ability. And that's unfortunately her biggest downfall. She just has a lot of competition for her. In this case, we have someone like Retsu, and also most importantly, the newly released renewed version of Queen Ichigo. They're just better characters, and you're all gonna have more fun playing with them. But Roka is best described as a support character, and that's the best way to look at her. Her Sobum can revive fallen enemies, she has a team heal every time you enter another map, and she also has complete stats ability which you can share to your team. So she's a safe character to play with, she has great crowd control with her SA2, and damage output really isn't that much of an issue, with Frenzy +1, a 40% Berserker, 40% more damage when you are at full stamina, which for the most part she can very easily keep. And then when you do inflict a Stasm, in this case weakening, you then get an 80% stat boost to your spiritual pressure stat. That makes her good. That makes her good. Unfortunately, the strong attacks that she does have aren't the greatest for clearing content fast. It's not bad by any means, but it isn't a traditional good strong attack kit, so that ultimately means she's more on the slower sides, but she does get newfound usage in Arena, because if you do level up her Arena ability, she again gets an extra 66% stats, Frenzy +1, more recharge, and also starts with an extra special move. So if you can't really find a use for her in normal PvE content, you definitely can get a use out of her in Arena content, where she is probably one of the better technical Arena characters in the game. Roka is a pretty good character, but definitely nothing super exceptional, and there are better characters out there that do fulfill the role that she does fulfill. And that's basically the banner, right? Those are the two main characters. As for the other fillers, going over them quickly, Dodoni is meant to be used in the melee Captain Killer guild quest. That's why I personally still use him. He's not a bad character for that. Storichi only really wants to be used in Inheritance Trials when she does have Killer. Not really that great otherwise, and even when she does have Killer, there's still better characters out there. Charlotte is kind of a gimmick character with his SA2, which is a debuff move, and he does have a Sobun which can do some good damage, but doesn't really have much usage going for him. Shuhei's a good character, decent damage output, and has a really cool, interesting Sobun with the debuff effects. And I guess with the Sunset link that now does exist, you can use him in epic raids to clear fast, but considering his age, he's going to be thrown to a lot of SAFWY banners going forward into the future, so you don't really have to get him now. Hikono is still a pretty decent character, good strong attack kit, pretty fun to play around with, and is great when he has Killer, that against Technique Soripus. Dami is a super outdated Nad character, doesn't really have much going for him, maybe only going to be used in the Hollow Guild quests. And then Zamari is quite outdated in terms of strong attack, range, and also damage. Like I mentioned, the banner itself does have a lot of value, and it's very disappointing to see a banner like this, but in my opinion, Roka and Cien need more selling to them, and in a banner like this, it really doesn't do them justice. It's not a banner worth summing on. If they maybe threw in the other Kenpachis as the Shiro, Zaraki, and also Kuriyashiki, even some of the Beyond Bankai characters, it would have added more value to this banner, and it might have been maybe worth summing on then. But in a banner like this, which features more Confield characters than SAFWY characters, I would highly advise against it, especially when there's a better banner out right now, that being the Parasol banner, and with the potential chance that 1000 Year Battle Round 16 is going to rerun later this month, that banner in particular will feature a better heart and technique character, so I would more so recommend going over them over this particular set of characters. So yeah, very easy skip. If you are still summoning on the banner, good luck, hopefully you get what you want, but I would definitely advise against it. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this banner. I'll see you guys next time though, take care and peace.